Prosecutors presenting more evidence in the murder trial of this Jacksonville man charged with raping and killing his niece when she was pregnant with his child. How they're using surveillance video to walk the jury through his actions at work on the day the victim disappeared. Prosecutors are now in their third day of testimony as they try 38-year-old Johnathan Quiles for first-degree murder.
He's accused of killing 16-year-old Iyana Sawyer in December of 2018. Her body has never been found, a point the defense has argued during the trial. News4Jax reporter Marilyn Parker shows us the timeline prosecutors established for Quiles the day Sawyer was reported missing.
Johnathan Quiles worked at Ace Pick Apart for about 90 days. In the video we're about to show you, Quiles' general manager confirms that it is Quiles, and we get to see his movements throughout that day. Friday morning, Quiles arrives at Ace Pick Apart. He drives a red van, then we see him walk through the parking lot. Around 11:17 a.m., he gets in his van and leaves. Here's what the general manager, Gary Lindros, said about this.
He's leaving the property in his vehicle, or his vehicle is leaving.
Do we note, sir, at 11:17 a.m. that he signed out on his timesheet? Have you had a chance to look at it?
I've seen the time card. No, he did not punch out as he's supposed to.
You're certain that's the defendant leaving at 11:17 a.m. on December 19th? Agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Quiles is gone for about an hour and 13 minutes. He pulls back into work and goes out of camera sight and into an area that's not employee parking. About 3.5 minutes go by, and it's about 12:30 now. He pulls in, then walks up to the office holding what looks like red tape. Then he heads towards the parking lot as a tow truck pulls in. Quiles walks alongside it in the employee parking lot. He's headed towards a pile of scrap tires. Then at 6:06 p.m., he's leaving in his van. That video we just showed you, Quiles is leaving around 11 a.m. and then he comes back around 12:30. Well, last week we learned Iyana Sawyer left Terry Parker High School around 11 a.m. as well. But the state's suspicion doesn't stop there. Coming up tonight on News4Jax at 6, we'll show you video from December 20th at Ace Pick Apart, and we'll let you know how the defense cross-examines this witness. At the Duval County
we have another news clip before we get into the aunties. All right, the next news clip. Enjoy the music while you wait.
Continue today in Johnathan Quiles' murder trial. While the judge had hoped the case would be in the jury's hands by tomorrow, attorneys now estimate the trial could stretch the rest of this week and possibly into next week. Quiles is accused of sexually assaulting and killing his teen niece, Iyana Sawyer. News4Jax reporter Marilyn Parker has been following this trial every day. She's joining us now live from downtown. And Marilyn, we heard from the lead detective on the case.
Yes, lead detective Billy Abbott said that this went from a missing persons case to a homicide case when JSO got a call from Johnathan Quiles' brother, Joseph. Take a listen to the text message exchange between the brothers that Billy Abbott read out loud in court.
And this is January 8, 2019, to Joe. You can't even talk to me, really. I never did anything to you, to that girl. And now you put me through this and you call me your brother. You're right. After this is over, I'm all the way done with you. You're a real piece for what you've done.
Okay.
19. I can't talk to you right now. I have to stay firm on my decision. What you told me isn't a joke or something.
Make sure you say the exact words, please, for the record.
Okay. What you told me isn't some joke or something you like about. So yes, I told the police because they need to know. If you was lying, then you will be cleared and free. But if you wasn't, then you won't. I'm sorry I have to do the right thing for that girl and her family, not the right thing for you and your selfishness. I hate to lose you, but I'd rather that girl's family have some peace. If you're innocent, then you don't need to worry they won't find her body. But if you're not, they're going to find her. And in that case, I've already lost my brother. I'm sorry.
Now, some other key parts of Abbott's testimony include when Abbott went to question Quiles at the end of December, Quiles told Abbott about Sawyer packing 38 pieces of underwear and bras, but at the time, Abbott didn't ask how he knew that information. Quiles was arrested on January 8th, and detectives decided to put a recording device on another inmate in Quiles' cell. Very, very big developments in court today. But as court was letting out, they started going over some text messages that they say were on Iyana Sawyer's cell phone. But we want to get further clarity before bringing that to you, because some of the content
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Donna Just Being Real. My channel is all about dating, love, relationships, and toxic relationship advice channel. And I use trial stories, I use crime stories, news articles, and everything to help people to date smart and not thirsty. And these are great, things to use as like trials and everything, because you get to learn things about when the dating and the relationship and how it can go wrong. The choices that we make and everything. All right, so let's get into this trial again. And today we focus on the aunties. Yes, the aunties. Two of the aunts was on the stand, and the one that you see at the bottom, she basically spoke when it came to the impact statements. So we're gonna listen to all three of them. And what I want you to do is share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Tell me what you think. What do you think of this whole trial? Any things that you saw that was red flags that could have been prevented? Or what? I don't know, whatever. Just share your thoughts. And if you need to reach out to me for coaching and dating, love, relationship, toxic relationship advice on, look in the description and you will find my email address, and we can go from there. Or if you have a viewer's request, or you need to speak to me about something on the side privately, no problem, and go from there. But please don't forget, hit that like, share me out in your social media and all that good stuff. And we get ready to get into it. So the first one we're going to get into, I gotta even go into my thing. The first we're gonna get, what's the first aunt that we're gonna get into? Well, make sure everybody read the description so you can find out what's happening and who's coming up next. First one is Margie Mobley. Margie Mobley. Now, all the sisters that I'm showing are basically on the mother side. So this is the mother sisters. Okay? And like I said, hit the like, share me out. And I see you, Lisa. Blessings to you. I see you, 603. Blessings to you. And Kendall, hey Donna and Maz, and glad I made it on time. Glad to have you here. Amber, I see you again, girl. I see you, Amber. Hope you had a good day at work today. And Shayla, hope I'm pronounced right. I'll just say Taylor. Hey Donna and chat, and blessings to you, blessings to you. All right, so let's get into it. I just wanted to show those clips. What's up with all the bras and the Victoria's Secret? Oh well. Alright, let's get back to it. And tomorrow I'm going to focus on the wiretap. So tomorrow I'm going to play the wiretap tomorrow evening. Alright, let's get it. I forgot to say the speed is on 1.25. If it's too fast for you, you just hit the setting and adjust it to your liking, whatever's comfortable for you. Alright, glad to have you here. And who else I see here? I see Lucy. I see Tuesday. His messages to Iyana was so great. Oh my gosh, wasn't it? Oh my gosh, wasn't it? I've been officially off at 7, but I'm doing it. All right, Amber. And Lovejoy, there you go, beautiful. Hey, Donna and chat. Hey Donna and everyone in the chat, and blessings to you, blessings to you. And I see you, Jones, and blessings to you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to it.
Ma'am, good morning to you.
Live streaming can be tricky.
I was about to say they're taking good care of you, and then that happened.
Everything, it's okay. Sadly, I'm used to it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, I'll make sure you're comfortable. If you need a glass of water, we'll do our best to accommodate.
Yes, please.
Some water.
Yes, please. Okay,
We'll certainly take care of that for you. And obviously, you're leaning back. I understand why. Make sure. Are you comfortable?
Yes, I was just trying to make sure I can sit up. So y'all can hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, and if you need to move that microphone, you can certainly do so as well. But my guess is you have a loud voice.
Yes. Yes.
All right. With that said, just my only request of you is that if there's an objection made during the course of the testimony, just pause. Let me roll on the objection first, and then you can answer the question.
Okay.
Okay. State me inquiry ready.
Yes, sir. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Will you introduce yourself to the jury, please?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Margie Mobley. I am a IS auntie.
All right. Can you tell us where you live now, ma'am?
I stay in Yulee.
All right.
Florida.
How long have you been living in Yulee?
For a year now.
And prior to that, where did you live?
Prior to that, I stayed in Jacksonville.
All right. I think you just mentioned, is IS your niece, ma'am?
Yes.
And who is her mother?
My baby sister, Kimberly.
Is that your sister?
Yes.
Will you direct your attention, ma'am, back to 2018? Where were you living then?
I was in Jacksonville.
All right. Excuse me. Do you know a gentleman by the name of Johnathan Quiles, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
And who was he to you?
No one.
Back in 2018, ma'am, who was he?
Back in 2000. He was my brother-in-law.
All right. Was he married to one of your other sisters?
He was married to Naomi.
All right. Do you see Mr. Quiles in the courtroom now?
Yes, I do.
Can you describe what he's wearing, please, and tell us where he's seated?
He's sitting by Michelle, and he has glasses on with a ponytail.
What color shirt, ma'am? You can tell.
It appears to be white.
Your Honor, may the record reflect she's identified the defendant.
So reflective.
Ma'am, I want to direct your attention back to December 19 of 2018. Do you recall that day, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us where you were?
I was with my ex in Jacksonville, just probably watching TV.
All right. Did you receive a phone call from someone?
Yes, I received a phone call from my sister Kimberly.
All right. And don't tell us anything anybody else said, but once you received that phone call, what did you do next?
I immediately got in my car and went to Terry Parker High School.
Let's talk about that. Did you go by yourself?
I went by myself.
All right. And you said you went directly to Terry Parker High School?
Yes, I did.
How long did that take you?
Not less than 5 minutes.
All right. And approximately, do you recall what time it was that afternoon, if you can?
Probably like around 3-ish maybe. School had just gotten out.
All right. Now, when you went to the school, did you determine the school had in fact been let out?
Yes.
All right. What was the first thing you did when you arrived at Terry Parker?
When I realized the school bus was gone, I started going every route that my niece would potentially go to get from Terry Parker to her mother's house.
All right. And by saying that you went every route, did you drive every route?
Yes, I drove every route.
Were you looking along roadways?
Yes, I was.
Did you see anything that looked like your niece?
No.
Did you do that in various types of routes to and from Parker High School to Kim's house?
Yes.
All right. While at Terry Parker High School that afternoon, give the jury an idea of what you did there.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, what did you do on the campus at Terry Parker High School?
When I went to the campus, I looked around. Her sister wasn't there, so I just pretty much looked and went to the office and trying to get some answers. By the time I got back to the school, my sisters was there. So.
All right. Were multiple sisters of yours there?
Yes.
Okay. Did you look around the school as well?
I looked around the school, but just in the immediate area by the buses and anywhere like that.
You see any sign of Iyana?
No.
Ma'am, did these actions in not finding IS prompt you to call the police?
Yes, it did.
All right. You know approximately what time you would have called the police as an estimate?
Sometime probably, it was before 5 o'clock,
Okay.
maybe, give or take.
And did you report to the police just what you told this jury?
Yes, I did. I told the police it's out of character for my niece to not be home, not to be recognized. We didn't know what she was, and we couldn't get a hold of her, and that was out of character for her not to be at home, not to just be gone.
All right. Did you yourself try to call her cell phone?
Yes, I did.
Was there anything that particular afternoon that you made any type of connections or communication with IS?
I made no.
All right. You mentioned something about it being completely out of her character. Has she ever before, after school, just gone missing like that?
I would never just, after school, just leave and go anywhere. No.
Now, Ms. Mobley, after you called the police, did your family all congregate somewhere, and if so, where?
After we left the school, everyone congregated at my sister Kim's house.
All right. And just generally, man, we've heard some other testimony about that. What all did you do in summary at your sister's house that afternoon and evening?
I had my younger nephew tear her room up looking for like old devices, anything that any electronics.
All right. And that nephew of yours, is that also a child?
He's a child.
All right. Can you just tell us, you don't have to say his name, but with respect to the family, who was that nephew?
Crystal, the ladies on the stand. Oh gosh, let me get it correctly. Everybody can read the description. I try to put stuff in the description, help everybody to navigate and to understand what you're watching. All right, this first one is Margie Mobley. Now, Margie Mobley, Crystal, that is the aunt. These are all the aunts that's on the mother's side. So this is the mother's sister, and she's telling her side of the story. So we're doing all aunties today, ladies and gentlemen, all aunties. Let's hear what the aunties have to say. And the last aunt that I'm going to show, that's going to be her impact statement, because she didn't get on the stand. She just did the impact statement. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's resume. And blessings to you, Crystal, and blessings to everybody. And I see you, reigning woman diva, in the house. All right, let's get it. Hit the like if you haven't hit the like.
That was IS baby brother.
Did, in fact, her younger brother go through their room and start looking at things?
Yes, in fact, he did.
Were you and other sisters in that room as well?
Yes, sir.
Kind of tearing through it?
Yes, sir.
Now, did you collectively as a group look at any particular items, like an old notebook or things along those lines? You all look through things like that?
We found old notebooks, laptops, and phones. Those are our main thing. Anything electronic was our focus point.
And while looking through these either older devices or anything in her room, did you find any clue or any indication of where she might have gone?
I mean, we went on some wild goose chase based on the stuff that we found, but they turned out to be dead ends. It's like misleading.
All right. Did you, in fact, based on just gleaning information from her life, did you go to anybody's particular houses or apartments looking for her in that manner?
Yes, sir, we did.
Ever find her at any of these places?
No, sir, we didn't.
Before Course Hero, I spent hours looking for help online.
What, if anything, can you tell us about her clothing from her bedroom? Did y'all notice anything to be missing?
The only thing I noticed to be missing was her undergarments.
All right. And were those undergarments of the brand of Victoria's Secret?
Yes, sir, it was.
Did that cause your family collectively, and more importantly, yourself individually, some concern?
Yes, it did.
At that time, did you know she was pregnant?
Yes, I did.
Was it your concern that she had run off with the father of the baby?
Yes, it was.
Right. Now, with respect to that, can you give the jury an idea of your niece, IS, where she generally is on a daily basis in the majority of her time? Where does she spend that?
On a daily basis, the morning, of course, would be school. Like, if she had to work, because she had just recently got a job, it would be at work. And outside of school and work, it was her family. It was us.
All right. Of the 5 sisters, her mother and the 4 aunts, you being one of those, whose house would she spend at more other than her own?
The Quiles, Naomi, and Naomi.
All right. Is that where the defendant lived?
Yes, where the defendant lived.
And did you ever understand, or looking back at that time period, understand why she was spending time over at the defendant's house?
Then I didn't. Now, more so I do.
Okay. But based on your observations, was it clear to you at that time that's where she spent the majority of her time when she was away from her home?
Yes.
Did you have any idea, ma'am, excuse me, did you have any idea, ma'am, whether she was engaged in a relationship with like a boyfriend at the time she went missing?
No.
Do you have any idea whether she was sexually active with someone at the time she went missing?
I know she was sexually active.
Okay. At the time she went missing with someone specifically, do you have any idea at that time?
I knew she was sexually active when she went missing.
With someone in particular?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
And who was that?
That would be Mr. Johnathan.
Okay. Other than that, are you aware of her being sexually active with anyone other than the defendant?
It was one other guy, a neighbor.
Okay. You recall his name if you can. Don't make it up. If you don't.
Yeah, it's
don't.
something weird. I mean, if I was here, I don't know off the top of my head. I just know it was a neighbor, the dude across the street.
Okay. Was that the incident that had surfaced earlier in March of 2018?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ma'am, I know there were several efforts after December 19 of 2018. Did you engage in several of those search efforts by you and your family?
Yes, I did.
Did you in any way whatsoever find any sign of your niece ever again?
Nothing.
Lastly, ma'am, I want to talk to you just a little bit about some PayPal charges. Do you have any connection to purchasing anything for either IS, her little brother, who you just mentioned, or SS, anything like that through PayPal?
It would be the little brother.
Okay, tell us about that.
He always wanted random stuff like video games, and it'd be something simple, like for Xbox or something like that. But they always small purchases or whatever.
And can you describe what you mean by small purchases?
$1, $2, just for like on sale skins.
Okay. So if there's PayPal account charges on IS's account through her grandmother, is that you that's making those PayPal payments to her?
No.
Do you think it was someone else?
For something, it definitely wasn't me.
Okay. Is there any possibility that you were paying IS for the games that her little brother was purchasing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You just don't recall that now?
No.
All right. One moment, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. Mobley.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I want to take you to the day that IS went missing. And I know you said that you got a phone call and you went straight to the school, correct?
Correct.
Were you the first one to go to the school and arrive at the school?
That I wouldn't know.
You're not sure if it was you who arrived there first or not?
I don't know who arrived there first.
That's okay. You just don't recall.
Yes, I don't recall.
It may have been you or one of your other sisters.
Yes, ma'am.
After you arrived, you said that you started driving routes. Is that the first thing you did after you got to Terry Parker? You started driving routes to Kim's house?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sorry. I'll finish the question and then let you answer. It happens all the time, so don't worry about it. I'll just do my best to try and make sure we get the record clear.
Okay.
After you were doing those routes and you were just looking for her at that point, looking for IS.
Yes, ma'am.
When you didn't see her, did you call police at that point?
No, ma'am.
Okay. When did you call police?
After I took every route possible from Terry Parker to her mother's house.
Okay, that's what I was asking, and maybe I just didn't make it clear.
Oh.
After you did all of the routes you possibly could, that's when you called police?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then did you meet back up, as you said, with your sisters who were already at Terry Parker School again?
I'm the CEO of the
I ended up back at Terry Parker, and then we ended up at my baby sister's house.
Okay, great. After you went to Kimberly's house and started searching through everything, you guys did find some clues as to where she might be, correct?
Correct.
At some point, do you recall there being a plane ticket being found for IS?
Lucy, I kept saying she looks familiar. She does look like Tracy Chapman. She does. I couldn't figure out, why does she look familiar? Okay, let's get back to it. This is the auntie on the mother's side. I don't know if she's not the oldest. I think the next one I'm going to show, she says she's the oldest sister. Resume.
I'm not going to say a plane ticket, but I seen something in reference to a plane ticket being bought.
And did you guys then try to make phone calls to the airport to see if there were any flights going out?
Yes.
Did you find anything in particular that you found IS having taken a flight?
No.
Did you also provide that information to police?
Which information? Yeah.
The information about the flights?
Me, for say, no.
Okay. So you're not sure if police ever received that information?
I mean, once the police got involved, I was pretty much told not to I pretty much stayed out of it because so much stuff got leaked. So I pretty much stayed in my own little bubble.
Okay, but you yourself never reported that directly to police? Okay. Is that a yes?
Correct, yes.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear you.
That's okay.
At that time when police kind of got involved and they were assisting trying to locate IS, did the family at that point have the sentiment that police really weren't putting enough effort in trying to locate where IS might be?
Would you rephrase the question?
Of course. Did you feel that the police were not putting enough effort into trying to locate IS?
At some point.
Would that have been right at the beginning portion of when she went missing?
That was at the beginning.
So those first several days, you all were doing a lot of the legwork and trying to find her?
Yes.
You guys were the ones creating the flyers, postings, and that type of thing, correct?
Correct.
You guys were trying to get police to actually publicize that she was missing and try to make efforts to find her?
Yes.
And police were not doing that at that point?
I'm not sure what the police were doing.
At that time, was your understanding part of the reason why they weren't doing that is because she was classified as like a runaway?
If she was classified as a runaway, that was never brought to my attention.
Okay. You all believed that she had run away for some period of time, at least immediately after?
I never believed she ran away.
Well, during direct examination, you'd said that you thought that she had run away with the father of her child.
Oh. In that aspect, that's different. I thought you were saying as if she just ran away, as if she wasn't happy at home and she ran away.
Oh, no. I wasn't making that assumption at all. I'm asking at that point in time, you thought she had run away.
At that point, she was missing.
Okay. I want to talk to you about a comment that you made during direct examination. Mr. Skinner asked you if you knew if IS had been sexually active at the time that she went missing, and with anyone in particular. You answered that you knew that she was sexually active at that time with Johnathan Quiles. Is that true?
It was speculation that, I don't know when it began to start, but she was having inappropriate relationships with Mr. Quiles.
And you knew that personally at that time? I know now, having been so long, but at that time, in December of 2018, did you know that?
It was all thought up and brought up. Did we have actual evidence? No.
Okay. So you did not actually know or have concrete evidence. Is that what you're saying?
I guess you can say that.
Okay. As far as accusations or rumors, however you want to call it, that at that time was out there that Johnathan Quiles had some sort of relationship with IS.
Can you rephrase that then?
Of course. At that time, in December of 2018, there were accusations or rumors that IS and Johnathan Quiles had some sort of sexual relationship, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You all had not, prior to that, known of any sort of relationship, though, correct?
Correct.
Introducing the Onion, the non-lethal self-defense platform.
I'm going to take you to when you all found out that IS was pregnant. That was the very beginning of December, end of November, correct?
I don't recall the exact date.
Does that time period sound about right?
I don't recall the exact time period or date.
Yeah, I understand. I'm not asking for the exact date. I know I'm not giving you like December 3rd.
Oh, okay,
but was that time period around then about the time that you all found out that she was pregnant?
That's fair to say, yes.
Okay. And when you found out that she was pregnant, did you or were you told who the father was?
No.
Okay. Were you ever given any names of who the potential fathers may be?
We was only given alias.
Okay. At that time, did you know that they were only aliases?
It was speculation.
Okay. Did you ever hear the name Jose?
Yes.
Okay. Was Jose named as the father of IS's unborn child?
Yes.
Did you yourself think at that time, back when you found out that Jose was the father of IS's baby, did you at that time believe that Jose went to Terry Parker?
I was following lead, so yes.
Okay. Did you actually find out that he was no longer attending Terry Parker, had graduated?
No.
So you're saying you never found out any information about Jose who had attended Terry Parker?
The only person that attended Terry Parker with the name Jose was like 67 something years old, so that wasn't him.
You don't believe that was the correct person?
It was an alias.
You believe it was an alias?
It was an alias.
When you say it was an alias, is that information that you know, or is that information that's been told to you?
No, that's what I believe.
That's what you believe?
Yes.
Did you ever follow up on one of the leads, and maybe you've never even heard this, so did you ever hear that Jose lived in Azalea Ridge Apartments?
No.
Okay. Did you ever go to Azalea Ridge Apartments?
Yes, I did.
Okay, is that where Willie Sawyer, IS's father, resided at that time?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever speak to Mr. Sawyer, Willie Sawyer, about Jose living in Azalea Ridge Apartments?
No.
When you went to Azalea Ridge Apartments, were you looking for an individual you believed to have been in a relationship with IS?
Yes.
Do you recall the name of that person that you believed to be in a relationship with IS that resided at Azalea Ridge Apartments?
No.
So it could be Jose.
It was an African-American name. Jose is a familiar Hispanic name, so I would know the difference.
But you don't recall what that name was?
Correct.
After you following up on leads of who the father may be and not being able to find anyone, you all began to make accusations, or the sisters were making accusations that the father was Johnathan Quiles. Is that correct?
Can you repeat the question?
After you all were no longer able to figure out, I mean, you said that earlier that you were following up leads, but it was an alias. You believed it was an alias. After you all followed those leads and could not find who you believed to be the real father, at that time, did you all then accuse Johnathan Quiles, or the sisters accused Johnathan Quiles of being the father of IS's unborn child?
He was believed to be the father before the alias and all the other names.
You all believed he was the father before you went and searched other people's names who may be the father?
Correct.
Okay. So why were you searching for other people's names who might be the father if you knew it was Johnathan Quiles the whole time?
If asked about it, he wasn't going to tell the truth, but that's just what I'm saying.
Say that again for me, just a little louder if you don't mind. I cannot hear you.
If he was asked or whatever, if there was any inappropriate relationships, he denied it at that time, and the young lady was denying it as well. So that's why everything was alias. So yes, we did the footwork to try and find who the person was, who we already knew who the person indeed was.
Okay. When you say the young lady denied it, are you talking about IS?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
So IS denied it, Johnathan Quiles denied it. Did you is that yes?
I'll say yes, ma'am.
Did you ever personally see anything inappropriate between Johnathan Quiles and IS?
No.
Did you ever see anything inappropriate between Johnathan Quiles and SS? Her younger sister, SS?
No.
Okay. Were you around when SS and IS were confronted about having any sort of sexual relationship with Johnathan Quiles?
No.
Did you ever ask IS or SS about any sexual relationship between them and Johnathan Quiles?
No.
You know his name. He's a pioneer in the fashion industry.
Now let me ask you about the next door neighbor. I know you can't remember his name, but did you ever know him to have been sexually active with IS?
It was brought to my attention.
Okay. And were you there when that was reported to police?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Did you ever meet him or know him or see him?
I've seen him.
Okay. How did you see him?
I saw him in Popeyes where he worked at, and I pointed him out. Stay away from my niece.
Okay. At some point in time, you said you saw him where he was working?
Correct.
Okay. And you confronted him?
Yes.
You told him to stay away from your niece?
Yes.
And that would have been when, if you can recall?
I do not recall.
Okay. Was that around the time?
This aunt wasn't having it, was she? Stay away from my niece. Ooh, child. Resume.
Time she went missing?
It was well before that.
Was it a little before that, or you said it was well before that? I didn't hear you.
I don't know the exact date because it's been so long, but I do know I confronted him at Popeyes where he worked at his place of employment. I just happened to run in there and he was there.
Okay. And so that was sometime before IS went missing?
Yes.
Were you aware of an ongoing sexual relationship between Kamar Humphrey and, I'm sorry, you didn't know his name, but the next door neighbor and IS?
No.
As far as when the allegation and the report to police, do you need a moment?
No, I'm good.
Go ahead, take a moment. Are you okay to proceed?
I'm getting out, thank you.
All right. Let me just ask that again. As far as when the allegations came out in that report to police about the next door neighbor having a sexual relationship with IS happened, did you talk to IS about that situation?
Brief.
Did she deny having a sexual relationship with the next door neighbor?
She didn't want to discuss it.
Did she ever deny it?
She didn't want to discuss it.
When you say she didn't want to discuss it, did she say, I'm not talking about it?
She just, that's what she did. She was a teenager. That's her way of saying yes or no. That's what she did.
Okay. You did not take that as a denial.
I didn't know how to take it, so I just let it go.
Okay. All right. Back in December of 2018, were you working at Ace Pick-a-Part?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And did you work?
Ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like. And if you can, share me out on your social media. And the people that's watching replay, hit the like and also share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Just hit the like. It's simple. 1, 2, 3. Just hit it. Bang. That's it. All right, let's get back to it. We are on the aunties. Today is all about aunties. And they all on the mother side. Resume.
With Johnathan Quiles at Ace Pick-a-Part during that time period?
Yes, I did.
Meaning you all worked there at the same time?
Yes.
Okay. And were you at work the day that IS went missing?
I didn't start to after that, I believe. I'm not sure.
Okay. You don't recall if you were or were not?
I was not.
Ma'am?
I was not.
You were not at work that day. Were you working in the days after that, following that?
After that.
Okay. And how did you get the job at Ace Pick-a-Part?
I went up there and Mr. Quiles did told me to come up there, but I went in there, filled up the application, and I got the job.
Okay. It's part of the reason why you went to Ace Pick-a-Part for a job because of Mr. Quiles?
Give or take.
Okay. I mean, he informed you about it. I'm not saying he got you the job, but he informed you that there was available work there.
Yes.
Okay. And you guys, how would you describe your relationship with Mr. Quiles prior to this entire situation happening?
See, this is what sociopaths do. He got her the job. It's like a smoke screen over her because what she's doing to her niece is horrific. So he wants to, disguise who he is. He do these little nice things. Hey, I know about this job. You looking for a job? Hey, at my job, they have an open. Hey, all right, what's up? Well, okay, thank you. Hey, yo, sis, your husband is so cool. Yeah, he looks out for people. See what I'm talking about? Super charming. Let's resume, ladies and gentlemen. And I see you, good karma. Blessings to you. Glad to have you here. Let's get it.
Well, prior to this, it was okay.
Okay. Were you guys close? Spent time together?
It was okay.
Okay. And would you describe Mr. Quiles as an affectionate person?
Can I have an example of what you mean as affectionate?
Like when you greet someone, you hug them?
Give or take, I guess, yes.
And do you recall him kind of having like pet names for people or family and friends?
If he did, I didn't know.
Like, do you ever hear him calling people baby? And that, like, that's a common way how he would greet people.
Baby, yeah.
Okay. And as far as what you observed of him at that time,
Lucy said, BG, yes. How bold of him to use his workplace to dispose of that child when her aunt when her aunt worked there too. He was so confident he would not get away with this. I mean that he would get away with this. Yep, that's how he thought. He thought he had all these women play. Come in, Mr. Charming, Mr. Cook. I watch the kids. It's so wrong. Your husbands is not, well, not husbands or baby fathers is not helping. He probably using it. I'm just making up scenarios. Oh, they not helping. Y'all struggling. You such good women, and I'll help. I'll be supportive. And everybody's like, oh, your husband's so cool. He's so nice. It was all a flipping mask. Yep, let's get back to it.
I understand that there were some accusations that happened, but prior to the accusations when IS got pregnant, did you ever suspect there being any sort of sexual relationship between IS and Johnathan Quiles?
I didn't want to.
Just a moment.
You said my voice, KKK, and blessings to you. You said my voice audio is low. Let me see if I can change something, because I did notice something earlier. But I thought it was just me. Okay, do I sound a little bit louder, Kay? Let me know. Do I sound louder? Do I sound better? All right. And blessings to you, girl. Blessings to you. And I see my mod, Jack the Real Newtown. All right. Let's get back to it. Tell me if I sound better, Kay, and everybody else. Let me know.
Man, you told us on direct examination that you received a phone call and went to Terry Parker High School from your home the day she disappeared. Is that correct?
I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. On direct examination, you told us you got a phone call and left from your home to go to Terry Parker. Is that your recollection?
Yes.
The day she disappeared?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ma'am, good to see you. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you as well.
State, you can call your next witness.
I saw.
Okay, Kay. Everybody says I sound a little bit better. I changed the setting. All right. Tell me, do I sound okay now with the music on? Let me know if I still sound good now. I'm getting ready to change. We're going to get to the next sister. No. All right. Just give me a second. Let me set this up because I kind of messed up today. I meant to show this news clip in the beginning and I didn't. I'm going to show it now because you get to see all the sisters, the family. All right. What my girl says. Kay says, perfect audio, Donna. Thank you. Okay. It's okay with the music too and everything? Because I noticed it before, but I wasn't too sure. Thank you, y'all. Let me know these things. I appreciate it. Okay. A minute. What am I up to with the comments? Okay. Now, we're going to get into this one here. I'm going to show another news clip. And the reason why I'm showing this news clip because you get to see the sisters. All right? All the sisters. I need to know, do I sound okay with the music? Okay. All right, let's and somebody put in the comments, let me know if I sound okay with the music on in the background. Okay, let me start over again. This clip is a news clip, and the reason why I'm showing this news clip because I want you to see the sisters, and this is all on the mommy side. And I meant to show this in the beginning, but I didn't. My bad. I'm sorry. And then we're gonna get back to the other two aunts. We got two more aunts after this news clip. Let's get it.
Find Johnathan Quiles should be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
A Jacksonville jury recommended life in prison for the man accused of killing his own niece and her unborn child after raping and impregnating her. We brought you that decision live on Action News Jax at 5. And new tonight, the family of the murder victim, Iyana Sawyer, is responding to the jury's recommendation. I'm Tanika Hughes.
I'm John Bachman. Action News Jax. Ed Gutierrez is live in front of the Duval County Courthouse. And the family says justice was finally served.
Yes, it was. Iyana Sawyer's family says whether it was the death penalty or life in prison, they're just happy to know that Johnathan Quiles is off the streets and suffering consequences. Now, as I mentioned, the death penalty was on the table, but after about an hour and a half of deliberation, the jurors made a unanimous decision to recommend life in prison without the possibility of parole.
It's very overwhelming. but it's a very joyous feeling. This has been almost 5 years coming, and justice has finally been served.
After more than 2.5 weeks, jurors in the Johnathan Quiles murder trial officially finished their duty. Last week, Quiles was found guilty of all charges, including 2 counts of first-degree murder in the raping and killing of Iyana Sawyer, who was his 16-year-old niece. She was pregnant when she was killed in December 2018. Investigators never found her body after they say Quiles left it in a dumpster. But today, they unanimously recommended Johnathan Quiles be sentenced to life in prison instead of the death penalty.
We, the jury, find Johnathan Quiles should be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Iyana Sawyer's aunt, Paula Dixon, said they will never have closure, but they have comfort knowing Quiles won't be able to do this to anyone else.
So are we satisfied? Completely. His death will do nothing for us. It won't bring our loved one back. It'll never cover what we cost. So he can live the rest of his life knowing that he did not get away with what he did to our family.
Nobody won in this case at all.
Quiles' defense lawyers say they respect the jury's decision.
Did you hear this? What the lawyer said? He said no one wanted this case. Finally, we have a defense attorney who came out straight and said, look, no one wanted this case. This man is a monster.
Is he saying no one wants this case as far as taking on the case or as far as just
taking on the case? Well, I'm hoping. This is my co-host, the real Jack Newtown. Yeah, I'm assuming, Jack, that he's talking about no one wanted to take the case of what was happening. So he's being honest, like, look, no one wanted to take the case, but we thanking the jury because he's a monster.
Who wants to take on that case? They should have let him defend himself.
Exactly. All the evidence is stacked against him. I don't understand these low-life criminals. They think they're going to still get away with it. Jack, he had to know beforehand that he had the wiretap, correct? You know, that the recording, the videos. I mean, they had to inform his lawyers, and lawyers told him, saying, look, you got a lot of evidence. I'm just assuming, ladies and gentlemen, I don't work in this legal field, so I don't know. I'm just saying, just assuming that, they tell him all, and they're like, look, you need to take a plea bargain. Nope. These were these psychopaths, narcissists, and sociopaths do. Nope, not taking no plea bargain. I'm innocent. Really, really, really.
Let me get in and get out because my signal's pretty bad.
Oh, okay. No problem. All right. Let's resume the rest of this news clip, ladies and gentlemen.
Decision and realize Iyana Sawyer's family won't ever be the same.
The victim's family has to go through this with no one and knowing that they've lost their loved one.
Sawyer's family is still grieving and are asking for privacy and prayers, but they are thankful to everyone who helped in this case.
Yes.
Okay, let's recap here. Now, the one in the middle with the long kind of like wavy-ish hair, I'm going to show her next. She's going to be the next one I'm going to show, that auntie. Now, the tall one with the hair shaved off on the side, if I'm correct, that's the ex-wife. That's, Sleazeball ex-wife, the one that, they just divorced. That's her. Then you see the one in the back with the dreads and the shaved off side. That's the one we just seen, right? Okay. And then the one with the one that's talking with the dress, with the little flowers, purple, whatever, that's going to be the last girl I'm going to show. That's another one of the sisters. And the one with the orange hat, I don't absolutely know who that is. I don't know. And the one that's in the back with the purple, I don't know who that is. But I'm assuming that's the wife at the left side. Yeah, that's the wife there. All right, let's get back to... Yeah, Naomi. Thank you. Thank you, Amber. Thank you. Thank you, y'all. Thank you. Yes, that's Naomi. The one that's... Yeah, Naomi. Yeah, that's the one that's the ex-wife. All right, let me not confuse y'all anymore. Let's get back to it. We got more to cover. Let's get back to it.
Case.
There's no words that we can express to show our gratitude for what everyone has done to bring justice to our family.
And the judge has set the status hearing for this Thursday at
Okay, now we're going to get back to the other sister because I finished that one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the music while you wait. Just give me a second while I set it up. Wait a minute. Nope, that's the wrong one. We're dealing with aunties today. Aunties. Hmm. Hope I'm doing this right. Yeah, I'm doing it right. Okay. Okay. Now, this is auntie number 2. What is auntie number 2's name? If anybody, feel free to read the description. Auntie number 2 is Jametta Mobley. I might be pronouncing wrong, but just read the description. You'll know what I'm talking about. All right, so let's get into this aunt number 2. I like her. Something about her spirit, I could tell. I think she says in this video that she's the oldest one. All right, let's get it.
Ms. Mobley, good morning to you, ma'am. Just come over here to your right. You can just watch your step as you come forward. If you need a glass of water, let us know. We'll do our best to accommodate you.
Thank you.
And you can adjust the microphone to help your voice project in the courtroom as well. And the only thing I ask, if there's an objection made during the course of your testimony, just pause. Let me roll on the objection, and then depending on what I say, you may or may not be able to answer the question.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
State your main inquiry ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ma'am, will you introduce yourself to the jury, please?
Hi, my name is Jametta Mobley.
Where do you live, ma'am?
I stay in Nassau County.
All right. And have you been a Northeast Florida resident for the last how long?
Hi, everyone. I'm Carolyn, the co-founder and CEO.
I left in 1996, and I came back in 2004. Went to the military, and I came back home. No, I got out of the military too. I came back home in 2008.
You've been here since?
I've been here ever since, and then I moved to Nassau County in 2021.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Who are you to Iyana Sawyer?
I'm her aunt.
All right. And who is her mother, Kim, to you?
That's my sister.
And are you the older or one of Kim's younger sisters?
No, I'm the oldest.
And who is Naomi Mobley to you?
Naomi is the middle child. She's my sister as well.
All right. Was at one point in time Naomi married to somebody by the name of Johnathan Quiles?
Yes.
You see him in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Describe what he's wearing, please.
A blue shirt, has glasses on, gray pants.
Your Honor, may the record reflect she's identified the defendant.
So reflected.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am, I want to direct your attention specifically to December 19, 2018. Do you recall that day, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. Can you first tell our jury where you were?
At home.
Okay. And will you describe where your home is and specifically in relation to Terry Parker High School?
I stayed in Arlington off of University Boulevard, and Terry Parker High School was maybe like 3 to 5 miles from where I live at that time.
And that particular day was Kim at work?
Yes.
All right. Don't state what someone said, but were you called by Kim that afternoon?
Yes.
And did you learn that IS had gone missing?
Yes. She said that she didn't get.
Just you learned
sorry.
that she went missing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, hold on a second. Did you have an objection? Did you move on, Mr. Skinner?
No, just let her finish her answer, Your Honor.
What was the question?
It was basically, Your Honor, ask her did she learn that IS went missing that day after speaking to her sister?
Overruled.
Thank you. But you can answer it, ma'am, just for our record.
Yes, my sister called me and told me that.
That's all. You don't have to say just before. You can't say what someone else said. We're just asking you. Did you learn that she went missing?
I'll get it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. Now, why or where did you choose to go once you learned she went missing that afternoon?
I went to school.
And why is it that you chose to go directly to the school?
Because that's not something that IS would do. So she said, I can't say here.
Right. Did you go straight to the school?
I went straight to school.
Right. And did you go there because you live close to the school?
Yes, I wasn't working at that time, so.
Right. And was Kim at work that day?
Yes.
All right. And what was so unusual about IS not getting on that bus that afternoon?
That's something she wouldn't do. I mean, there's no reason why she wouldn't get on that bus.
All right. When you got to Terry Parker High School, can you first tell us how far of a drive that was?
About 3 to 5 miles.
How long did it take you?
About 10 minutes.
Okay. And once you got there, will you give the jury an idea of what you did at the school grounds that afternoon?
Once I got there, I started looking for my niece.
All right.
Can I say niece?
You can't say anybody else told you. My question is, did you go?
Can I say niece?
Of course.
Yeah, I was started looking for my niece,
Right.
and I started looking around. There was officer there. I don't know if he was the truancy officer or whatever, but he had a police uniform on, and I was speaking to him because I was trying to see if anyone knew where my niece was.
All right. And did you check around with other students? Did you walk the halls?
I was asking everybody.
Ma'am, did you look around the grounds on campus there?
Yes, I was walking around asking kids if they see my niece.
All right. Well, did you ever find any sign of your niece?
Absolutely not.
Was this completely out of character for IS?
Absolutely.
Has she ever done anything like that?
No, she has never done anything like that. The girl goes to school.
Did you ever find any sign of her whereabouts whatsoever that afternoon at the school?
No, not at all.
Now, what was the last time you specifically had communication with IS?
I had communication with her that particular day. I had texted her. I wanted to see what she wanted for Christmas.
Right.
She had asked me for money, and I said, no, I'm going to give a gift. I don't like giving money. I like giving presents. And I said, well, let auntie know what you want. And so that was the last time.
All right. And was that earlier in the morning on December 19th?
I just want to comment on a statement. It's just so true. When you're dealing with teenagers, they don't want gifts. They want money. Once they start hitting high school, money. That's why it's just best just give them a gift card. Find out whatever they like to shop at, just give them a gift card. They don't want gifts no more. Nah, no more. That's done. All right, let's get back to Auntie.
In 2018.
I'm not going to say early in the morning because I also went to the school that day. So I'm going to say maybe around the afternoon.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me ask this question. Other than the small talk about the Christmas gift, was that the last communication that you had with your niece?
Yes.
Right. Did you ever speak to her again after that in person?
No.
Ever get her on the phone?
No.
Were you trying to call her?
Yes.
Did you continue to try to text and communicate in any way you knew how to reach her?
Yes. I never received anything. The last thing was about she wanted money for Christmas. That was it.
All right. Now, in the days following that afternoon when you were up at the school, did you do anything else to help try to locate your niece?
Yes. We were out there looking for her. We were going through the neighborhood. We were putting up flyers. We were trying to find my niece. We were riding around. We were trying to find her because, like I said, she did not go anywhere. She only went home, school, and then my sister Naomi's house.
All right. I want to talk to you a little bit about that. When you say those are the only places you went, can you even give us an indication of what other places that she would have gone and visited?
No, outside of that. Oh, she went to her dad's house, but she went to her dad's house, just home. I'm the mean auntie, so they didn't want to come to my house. And then to Naomi and Jonathan's house at that time.
All right. So is your testimony that she would go to see her father, Willie Sawyer?
Yes.
All right. And she would either go there or stay home. Is that correct?
Yes.
Other than that, the only place that you're saying she went was the defendant's home with Naomi.
Yes.
Do you ever know her to go visit with her grandmother on her father's side in Georgia?
Oh, yes.
Right. Was that every summer she did that?
She did that for the summer. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
When I was accepted to SGU, that was one of the greatest days of my life.
Let me ask it this way. Where, if anywhere, can you tell us she has gone at any point in her life for a long period of time, other than those three places you just told us? Has she gone anywhere?
I mean, outside of my sister Paula's house, I would say just family. It was 5 girls. So she went to one of the auntie's house. Outside of that, no.
All right, leading up to that December day, December 19th, ma'am, had you learned that IS was pregnant?
Yes.
All Can you give our jury an idea approximately when you learned she was pregnant?
I would say maybe the first week of the beginning of December
Okay.
of
Of 2018.
2018.
Okay. So so our record's clear. So during the month that she went missing on December 19th, that's when you first learned she was pregnant, earlier that month.
Yes.
Okay. Did you do anything, ma'am, that caused a family disagreement in that early portion?
Yes.
Hang on, let me finish the question. In that early portion of December of 2018.
I sure did.
Tell us about that.
When I found out when she was pregnant, then I went and pulled up that app and looked back and see when she got pregnant. And so, because I knew, I went and looked back, like I said, she didn't have a boyfriend, she didn't have anything. And so I added up the dates and I figured out she got pregnant when she got back from summer vacation with her grandparents in Georgia. That's when she got pregnant because when she, sorry.
Sure. No, I'm letting you explain that. Here's my question about that particular reason. When you say pulled up an app, are you talking about calculating the days or months since she was pregnant?
Yeah, we all had those scares. And I went back and I calculated it back. And because I know when she came back on that summer break, she was on her cycle. So, and I went back and I looked at the date, I looked at the time, I looked at the due date. I said, she got pregnant when she got back. And I know it was on July 7th because that was my mama's birthday. And we were all at the house for my mama's birthday. And so that's how I know the date.
Did you know at the time period looking back in July 7th of 2018 that she was staying over at the defendant's house?
Yes, when she got back, she went over to the defendant's house and she was there
This is the auntie that don't play. She don't play. She started cackling. She said, y'all can't figure out the father. I'm going to figure out who this father is. Woo! Great sister. I like you. I like you. I like you. And I absolutely love your necklace. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Resume.
S was there and they stayed there. And I know when they left because they came back on tax-free weekend. So her mom went and got her. Tax-free is normally like around in Florida, August, like the first week of August is on that weekend. And that's when she went and got to pick them up on tax-free weekend.
All right. So you did the math. Is that correct? Calculate when she got pregnant?
Yes.
And you also knew, and you told this jury that she only really went to 3 places. What, if anything, ma'am, can you tell us with respect to anything that caused you any concern about the defendant and how he looked at your niece?
I personally, I didn't like the way he looked at her. And I saw him, at first we were cool and then we didn't get along anymore. And then, like I said, things started to change after he broke his femur. And that was maybe September 2017. And after that, we started to fall out, but the only time I would see them was at family functions. And so it was just, like I said, I grew up in a 2-parent household. I know how my dad looked at me. I have male partners, and I know how a grown man looked at me. And I did not like the way he looked at her.
How many times?
I absolutely love what she said. There's a difference. And that's the same thing I was saying about with Ham Hock in their apartment. Are you going to tell me that his girlfriend of 6 years, she didn't know there was something odd the way he was in the room with her looking? Didn't the DL say that he was staring at my sister? Mm-hmm. And the same thing she's saying here. There's a different look. I have a father. My father doesn't look at me that way. I like her. I absolutely love you and adore you. And I want that necklace. It's so beautiful. I gotta find it. You go, girl. All right, let's resume.
Would you tell this jury you saw him looking at your niece, IS, in the way that you felt like you're describing that?
I would say at least maybe more. It was at family functions. Because like I said, our relationship changed after he broke his femur. Our relationship changed. And then we stopped hanging. The only time we really hang together is when we have family functions. Because we're always doing stuff, holidays, because we're very close-knit family. And that's when I started noticing things. So it's mainly at family functions. I didn't go over the house outside of just wherever we're going to meet for a family function.
All right. So you did the math. You told us. You now told this jury the way you didn't like the way he looked at your niece. and she only went to 3 places. Did you take those 3 pieces of information and lodge an accusation in early December at the defendant?
I sure did, and I got,
Tell this jury how you did that, ma'am.
it was on the text messages, and then I told, why are you so worried? We was going back and forth. The thing was, we had a family group text message, and he was included on our family group text message, and then we were going back first, and I'm like, why are you worried about who her child father is? And that's when I got cussed out.
Okay. My question for you, ma'am, is what was the accusation you put on that family text? What was it?
That he was the father of her baby.
All right. And who cut? Don't tell us what anybody said or in that text. Did someone cuss you out as a result of that text message?
Yes.
Who was that?
I got cussed out by him. I got cussed out by my sister Naomi.
Is Naomi the wife of the?
Naomi was his wife at that time.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, can
Trong người Trung Sâu.
The court reporter in front of you has to take down what we're saying verbatim.
Oh, you slow down?
A little bit.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I understand. Just let him finish the question, and then.
You know why she's hyped up? Because she's happy to get this off her chest. Yep, she's happy to get this off this chest, and she want to make sure that this slime ball gets locked up for life. That's why she's amped up the way she is, and I don't blame her, because she's seen it. And she probably wanted to say something and was trying to tell him, but nobody wanted to listen to her. These are all my thoughts and opinions. So she's going up against the wall. Everybody's coming down on her or whatever. Possibility that could have been happening. So now she's speaking her piece. She finally getting stuff off her chest that she's been wanting to, because she knew that there was something odd. No grown man is supposed to look at no little girl like that. There's something wrong. She knows the difference. You know a difference from when a man is giving you like an intimate hug. You know a difference when a man is just giving you a friendly hug, and vice versa. Everybody knows this. It's common sense. If you're over a certain age, you know this. Get out of here if you don't. All right, let's resume.
Then you can pause for a second, let them answer the question. I just got to make sure that it's an accurate representation of what you're saying. No, you're doing fine. Just it's a habit we all get into, and so
I talk a lot. Yeah, I got you.
You're not used to it. You don't know how it works, so I just wanted to let you know. But other than that, you're doing fine, ma'am.
Okay, I'll slow down. I'm sorry.
That's okay, ma'am. Now, just let me finish the question and do your very best at answering what we ask and opposing counsel.
Yes.
Once you made that allegation in that family text, based on the 3 things you just told the jury, did that cause friction from that point forward until the day IS went missing?
Yes.
What can you tell us, ma'am, about IS's phone and phone use?
That girl, she stay on the phone, but at that age, that's what they do.
Did you ever know her to turn her phone off?
No.
Ever?
Ever. She stay. I can text her. She'll respond to me from the bathroom. She'll respond to me while she is in the classroom. She never turned her phone off.
One moment here.
Mr. Gray, you want a glass of water?
Yes.
He'll help you out.
Thank you.
Ma'am, once December 19 of 2018 came and went, will you tell this jury if you ever heard IS's voice with your ears ever again?
Excuse me. No, sir.
Did you ever see her again?
No, sir.
That phone that she never turns off, did she ever contact you in any way whatsoever with her phone?
No, sir.
Text message?
No, sir.
Snapchat message?
No, sir.
Instagram?
Nothing.
Phone call?
No, sir. Nothing.
No contact whatsoever since that day?
No contact whatsoever.
Thank you. Your Honor, thank you. No further questions.
Girl, it's getting ready to happen now. Pat. Exactly. I was like, she made it clear. If you don't understand what I say, let me give you an example. It's a difference. Just like when Grandma was on the stand. I know how I hug my husband. It's a big difference compared to I hug other people. Get out of here. Everybody knows. You can tell. You think I'm not watching? You can watch when somebody's looking at somebody in a certain way. Ladies, we know when a certain guy's looking at a certain way, it's like, oh, he's interested. You at the gym working out, you can tell when he's looking at you a certain way. Oh, he's checking me out. You in the supermarket, a guy look at you a certain way. Oh, he's checking me out. We know these things. We know it. And vice versa. Men know too. It's a different look. It's a different look than you look at a child. When you look at a little child, you smile, you're like, oh, so beautiful. Look at the angel. You're not looking at them in a lustful look. It's a big difference. You go ahead, Auntie. Again, I love that necklace. Let's get back to it. I know I keep saying it, but it's just beautiful. It's a pretty necklace. Pretty. Resume.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
How you doing?
All right, how about you?
I'm doing well.
All right, thank you so much for being here. Just have a few follow-up questions for you. So if we could start with the day that IS went missing. You stated that she'd never done anything like that before, correct?
Correct.
Is it to your understanding that she'd never missed the bus, not taken the bus home?
Yes, that's my understanding.
Okay. As far as how you found out, I know that you were called and you were one of the first people to go up to the school, correct?
Yes.
And you called police as well.
It wasn't me.
You weren't the one to call police.
I wasn't the one to call the police. I actually was the one to sign a police report.
Gotcha. So even though you didn't call, you did interact with the police.
Yes, I did. I did interact with the police. Yes.
Do you know who called police?
My sister Margie.
All right. Thank you so much. And were you guys together at that time when she called?
When she called, no, we weren't together.
You just were at the scene when police arrived.
Yes.
And you gave the initial statement to police about the details about IS being missing.
Yes.
Right. And you said that you searched and talked to people around the school itself.
Yes.
And no one said that they had seen her or anything like that.
Correct.
Did you call friends or other people who she may have been around that day?
No.
Okay. Other than just doing basically a canvas around the school, did you talk to anybody else that day about where she might be?
I talked to a lot of kids. Yes. It was a lot.
And no kids specifically that you knew her to be friends with, just kids who were around.
Yes.
And so you couldn't tell us, I talked to Joe or whoever it is.
I didn't know. I was talking to anybody who listened to me.
Sorry. And no, that's fair. No, that's absolutely fair. As far as your relationship with Johnathan Quiles,
yes.
You said that back in 2017, maybe early 2018, he broke his femur.
It was 2017.
2017.
Yeah.
And you said that you guys kind of had a falling out, stopped hanging out at that point.
Yes.
Okay. You didn't like him.
No, I did like him. We used to party all the time. I did like him, and like I said, until things changed. We used to have fun. We used to be at his house playing bongos. We had time. We was at there. He had me on that crazy tire swing that fell and broke his femur, which I was scared to get on. And we had bonfires. So things change.
Yep, things changed because she noticed how he was looking at her nieces. Well, niece. Probably nieces. Whatever. But definitely that niece, LS. She knew. Shout out to you, beautiful. Shout out to you. And I know she is so glad she's able to get this off her chest. She's been holding. Ever since that text message. What she said was a group text message. And he jumped on and he had the nerves to say blah, 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 like attacking her. Why is he attacking her? Because you being, people seeing who you really are. Resume.
But at first, yes, I did. So I wouldn't say that I didn't like him at first.
Okay. Well, yeah, not at first. I understand that. But at some point when you guys had a falling out after that, you didn't mess with him at all after that.
Only when we did like family functions, just to go over there. No.
Outside of those family functions, which I'm assuming would just be like holidays type of thing. Is that fair?
Holidays, just getting together for a barbecue. Yeah, outside of that, family gatherings, no.
How often would you say you guys would do those? Maybe once a month or less?
I want to build your business idea with you. I'm Ranbir.
I don't really want to say once a month.
That often, or you think it was more often than that?
I would say it wasn't that often. I'm not going to say more often. It wasn't more often than that.
It was not monthly. It was less than that.
I would say it was.
Michelle, you said something, and blessings to you, girl. I guess you can't make your family listen or take your advice. I believe that she said something, and they said, mind your business. She got told, quiet, we don't want to hear you. And I think she did say she was the older sister, so sometimes you don't want to, you overthink you know everything. No, she has discernment. She listens to her gut feeling. She could tell when something is off. She's probably an empath, so she was sitting there feeling everything. When the gathering was like, why is he looking at it? Shout out to the empaths. We be feeling stuff, and we could tell when something is just not right. We can't pinpoint it, but we know something is not right. What's happening right now? Let's get back to it. Resume.
It just depends on the month. But I'm not gonna say it was every month because it wasn't. So some months could be different. It's just depending on what we were doing.
Understood. After that fallout, you would agree you did not have any sort of relationship with him whatsoever.
Just to go speak to him, no. Only thing that we had is that family group text message. So everybody was on. When I say everybody, I mean all of my sisters, and he was on it as well.
Okay.
Well, Johnathan was on it as well.
You believe he was on that group text?
No, I know he was on that group text.
Outside of, did you guys have another group text where it was just the sisters?
At their time, Naomi made sure that he was included on everything.
After the fallout between you all, and I know you said you were seeing each other maybe less than, if you took the average, less than once a month, did you guys ever have any sort of conversations during those occasional times you would see each other?
No, I just sat back and I watched. I sat back and watched, and I just monitored. I'm very blunt, and I just sat back and I watched.
Gosh, I love this girl so much. She just sit back and watch. She monitors. She was watching. She's like, okay, these are my thoughts and opinions. Nobody wants to listen to me, but I'm going to watch. I'm going to protect my niece. I'm going to watch. Soon as I could just get enough evidence, I'm taking this monster down. That's what she's probably thinking. So now this is her time that she's finally able to say what she wanted to say and get off her chest. Not saying she's walking around here. I told you so, sis. I told y'all, They probably did tell her, just quiet. You don't know everything. You think you know everything. You always think you know everything since we was little. She's the sister that has discernment. She's the sister that see things. She can feel things, and she know what's up. And she came out the military, so they train you to have instincts too. I have 4 sisters and a few brothers-in-law, sorry. And they are not in our family group chats. Exactly. But I guess she had to have her man up in there, right? Resume.
So you didn't really have any interactions with him after he broke his femur. After that, you guys really didn't talk much. Even when you saw each other at family functions, you didn't interact. I'm sorry, let me finish the question. Just
my apologies.
No, you don't apologize. It's not a problem. I just want to make sure the record's clear.
Yes.
Even at those family functions where you would occasionally see him, you didn't interact with him.
No, I did. It's rude not to say hello. I did say hello. That just you go in there and you say hello. But outside of the holding conversation, no.
Thank you. I know you said that on direct examination, you didn't.
She was being cordial because she wanted to make sure she keep an eye on him. She knew what she was doing. You go ahead. You go, girl. I really like her. I so do. I do. Resume.
Didn't like the way he looked at her.
Yes.
And you describe that as, hey, I know what a man looks at a woman like, right?
Yes.
Okay. Outside of that, I just didn't like the way he looked at her. Did you ever actually see anything inappropriate between IS and Johnathan Quiles?
Outside of his looks, no.
Okay. Did you ever see any behavior between the two of them that would indicate that there was any sort of sexual relationship going on?
The way he looked at her, my opinion, yes. Let me look at you.
Food prices are...
That's how he looked at her. Now I'm going to look at you. My opinion.
We had a disturbance, so I had to rewind a little because I want to make sure y'all catch that part. Let's get it.
You ever see any behavior between the two of them that would indicate that there was any sort of sexual relationship going on?
The way he looked at her, my opinion, yes. Let me look at you. That's how he looked at her. Now I'm gonna look at you. How you doing, sir? He didn't look at her like, how you doing, sir? He looked at her like a man look at a woman.
Okay. Outside of
I just can't stop with her. I absolutely love what she's saying. It's true. There's a big difference. A man looking at a woman like, ooh, Lord help me. I wish I could devour this woman. No, she's telling the difference. You go, Auntie. God bless you. I know you was stressed out, going out your mind with your nieces. No one is hearing you. I know. We all been there. We all been in situations like that, in families or friends at work, and nobody wants to listen. You the crazy one. You don't know what you're talking about. You always got something to say or whatever. And then when it comes out later, when everything is exposed, it's like, wow, you was right. Yeah, I was. But everybody wanted to attack me like I was a bad person. Reason.
that, you never saw anything that would indicate any sort of sexual relationship between the two of them?
No.
And you were never confided in by IS or anybody else about there ever being any such sexual relationship between IS and Johnathan Quiles?
We had our own, I didn't speak to IS, no. But, me and my sisters had our own separate, yes.
Okay. Outside of the accusations that you talked about that, between your sisters and you, there was no other information that you ever received that there was a sexual relationship going on between IS and Johnathan Quiles, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You talked about the accusation itself. You said you were the one who made the accusation originally. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. And you said that you did that when you found out that she was pregnant.
Yes.
Is it true that you actually made a similar type of accusation when the Kamar Humphrey situation occurred?
I need you to be a little more specific.
Okay, let me go back. Do you know who Kamar Humphrey is?
I've never seen him before. I've heard of him, and I know that he used to stay across the street from my sister Kim. Have I ever seen him? Could I pick him out in the lineup? No.
Okay. Are you aware of a sexual battery that Kamar Humphrey committed against IS?
Yes.
Okay. And were you aware of that at the time it happened?
I went to the house, and I did speak to IS about that.
And did she tell you that that's what happened?
Yeah, we talked. Do you want to know what we talked about, or
No,
hearsay?
No, I don't need you to tell me specifically.
Okay, yeah.
As far as that time period when Kamar Humphrey sexually battered IS, at that point in time, were there accusations of a sexual relationship made between IS and Johnathan Quiles?
Before that time?
Around that time period, yes.
Around that time? I'm going to say between the sisters. And when I say we didn't speak on a text message, I've always, every time I see anything, I've always said something. But
okay, as far as those accusations that were from earlier on in 2018, did you ever speak to IS about that and ask her about those accusations?
For which one?
Did you ever ask IS to confirm or deny sexual relationship, any sort of sexual relationship with Johnathan Quiles?
She wouldn't tell us about anything. The only reason why I honestly feel like we found out is because she got caught with the Kumar. Yeah, but no, only other thing I tried to get out of her, we were trying to find out who the father of her child was, but she wouldn't say anything.
So I know that these accusations had been going on for some time back in early 2018, and then again when she got pregnant. At any point in time, did IS ever confirm a sexual relationship between herself and Johnathan Quiles?
No.
All right, let me ask you about
clinic. My first
where she would go, because that was stated multiple times. You named 3 places originally. You named 3 places. You named Kimberly Mobley's house, her own house.
Yes.
You named Johnathan and Naomi's house.
Yes.
You said that she had stayed at her grandma's over the summer.
Yes.
Then later you said it's not just those 3 places. It's actually, other family members too. Sometimes she stayed at Paula's house, correct?
We would go over there. Would she go to Paula's house? Yes.
Okay. So, and other family members' houses as well. She would go over to their homes as well.
It's normally when we had functions, but for the most part, she was either home, like doing, like staying the night, stay at my house, the night at my house. No, I don't remember her staying the night at my sister's house. The only place that she stayed for an extended period of time is either at her house or Naomi and Jonathan's house at that time.
So this little girl wasn't at nobody else's house. All these aunties, but Naomi's house with Sleazeball was the place she was at all the time. Red flags. Red flags. So many. So many. But I have to say, this girl is. Let me save my thoughts. All right, let's get back to it.
Okay, or her grandmother in Georgia.
Or her grandma, but that was for the summertime.
Right, understood. As far as Kamar Humphrey, did you know that IS was going over to Kamar Humphrey's house?
At first, no, I didn't. I found out about him after she got caught.
After she got caught with him?
Yes.
Michelle, basically, if I'm correct, a lot of them basically said she didn't really go nowhere. She was into her schoolwork, and I'm so proud of her that she was so much driven in school. She was into her schoolwork, so it was either home, school, or she was at Auntie's house with the sleazeball. See, we have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, he's been grooming these girls, IS and SS, since they was babies. Because what the mother said on the stand, she known him for 2 years. So if I'm right in my calculations, I could be wrong. I stand to be corrected. Anybody has information, the replay watchers, the one here, I stand to be corrected. Let me know, because we would all like to know. But that was the only places that she was at. And like I said, she known him for 10 years, the mother said. So he met these girls when he was 5 or 6 or something like that. So he had lots of time to groom them. And the mother said that Sleazeball used to watch her kids when they was little while she go to work. So now the kids got older, they was watching Sleazeball. Excuse me. They was watching Sleazeball kids with their auntie. And that was an excuse to get them over there. Oh my gosh, this man is a monster. Should have never been born. Resume.
Okay, got it.
That's outside of that, I wouldn't even know his name.
Okay. And so if she hadn't got caught, you wouldn't have even known that she was going over to Kamar Humphrey's house on a regular basis?
I don't know if she was going on a regular basis.
Okay. Or that she'd been over there?
If she didn't get caught, I wouldn't have known. No.
So is it fair to say that although those 3 places you mentioned, it's very possible that she could have been going other places as well that you weren't aware of?
No, Mark, he stayed across the street. So she didn't have a car, so where would she go? She went to stop.
You mean Kamar was close in proximity, so that was easy
Yes,
for her to
it
get
was just across the street. Outside of that, where would she go? Because if she did go somewhere, we would know, because her mama would say something.
All right. You agree, though, that you didn't know about that beforehand, so you wouldn't have been able to tell us that if she had not been caught?
About her going across the street?
Correct.
No, I wouldn't. No one would know.
And so, again, it's fair to say that if she were going other places on foot, you wouldn't be able to tell us if she was or wasn't.
Where's she going? I don't know where else she would go.
Right. One moment.
Yo, I cannot believe these short fabletics are too.
Let me just ask a couple of follow-up questions that I didn't quite clear up. You talked about the accusations back when Kamar Humphrey. I'm sorry, do you need to get some water? I apologize. Let me give you a moment.
She just giving me a refill. I'm ready.
Okay. If you want to take a sip, that's fine. Go right ahead. I don't want to stop you.
I just wanted the last one.
Thank you. All right. So let me go back and ask just a couple of follow-up questions to make sure I'm clear here. Back when the accusations came out that there was some sort of sexual relationship between IS and Johnathan Quiles, around the time Kamar Humphrey's situation happened, did you all interrogate or talk to IS about those allegations?
About the allegations with IS
and Johnathan Quiles?
I don't recall. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Did you interrogate or talk to IS again when you all found out that she was pregnant?
Yes.
At that point in time, did she ever confirm any sort of sexual relationship with Johnathan Quiles?
Why would she?
Did she ever confirm it?
No, I mean, why would she?
Did she deny it?
When she didn't deny it, we didn't ask her directly. We asked her who her child's father was. That's what we were asking her, and she would not say anything.
So you don't have any memory of asking her specifically about that accusation of Johnathan Quiles being the father?
I'm sorry, it's been so long ago. I don't want to say I may have, but I will say I'm not 100% sure, and I don't want to. I'm not 100% sure because at that time emotions were high. She wouldn't tell us anything, and so she wouldn't tell us nothing. She wouldn't tell us.
Do you recall her ever?
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to ask your opinions and the people that's watching the replay. Just help me to understand. I know everybody's different. Every household is different. Every parent is different. And I'm not trying to, judge a person or whatever. Just curious. How is your 16-year-old child in high school living under your roof and you can be okay with her not telling you who the father is? I don't get that. How are you not able to tell your child and sit down and say, look, you are a child yourself, and you coming to me, you having a baby that you've been hiding. You could take her to the doctor, get the the physicals and everything, which the mother did the right steps. But how are you not able to find out, or anybody, that who is the father? You're living in my house. You're going to answer my question. Who is the father? What's going on? Because we gotta do this the right way. I just don't get it. Let me know if anybody, am I, looking at it differently? I don't know. But whoever's watching replay, please answer my question on that. And the people that's here in the chat, answer my question. How is your 16-year-old that's living in your home in high school and you're not able to find out who the father is? You're going to give me an answer. We're not going to do this running around back and forth or whatever, slamming doors, just leave me alone. No. We're not going to do that. You're carrying a life in you and you're living under my roof. I need to know what's going on. As your parent, that's my job to do. And your job as my child to answer my questions. I don't know. Some people might look at it differently from me. You might do whatever. I'm not here to judge, but I'm just trying to understand. Like I said, my channel is a teaching channel that we can learn from. So we need to learn this. Because anybody who's watching this, they might have little kids or about to have children or whatever, have grandchildren, whatever the deal is. We can learn from this. Just help me understand that part of the puzzle. All right. Let's get it.
For telling anybody, or you knowing that someone named Jose was the father?
I don't know if I should mention how I found out about the name about Jose.
Well, I'm asking, did IS ever tell you that the father was Jose?
No.
Okay. Did she ever mention any other names like Peter or a Brian or Brandon?
She did not mention. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
It's okay. I think she got it, but I'll say it again just to be clear. Did she ever mention any other names like Peter, Brian, or Brandon as the potential father?
She didn't mention any names, so no. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're totally fine. It happens all the time. It's no problem. All right. So as far as you know, she never mentioned any names, according to you specifically.
To me specifically, no.
Okay. One moment.
The way this auntie's understand, if it was her daughter, oh, you gonna answer her. She's gonna find out immediately. Who is the father? Sit down right now. Tell me who the father. And there's nothing wrong with that. You need to know. This is your child. This is your daughter. What are we going to do? I need to know who the father is, and we have to find out. And find out who the father is, and they got some parents, because we all got to sit around together and talk and figure out what are we going to do. Your son impregnated my daughter. She's having his baby. And what are we all going to do? But yeah, this was a situation with some older sleazeball crap guy. But I'm just saying, y'all get what I'm talking about, right? All right, let's get back to it. And I see you, Mary. And Mary said, I told my mom I didn't know many years later. Oh. See, but that's different. If you say you didn't really, well, yeah, you didn't know. You didn't know. So that's different. She knew. She knew. But thank you for sharing that, Mary. Thank you for sharing that. Let's get back to, let's see, Pat says real quick. Once it was mentioned that there was some suspicion behavior going on between Nasty Uncle, her mom should have called the police like she did the guy across the street. Yeah, see, I'm not getting the time periods, but Pat, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm like I said, I'm just watching this trial. That's why I'm late with all these clips and everything. So thank you for y'all being here and engaging and watching with me. But I can understand, and that's a great point. She was so hard up, the mother, with this guy across the street, but not with Mr. Wavy here. I don't understand that part. That part I don't get. I really don't. Let's get back to it.
Ma'am, good to see you. Have a good rest of your day. Yes, ma'am, you can go.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. State, how long is your next witness?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, join the music while you wait because we get ready and go to the last aunt. Now, this aunt we're going to get into, just give me a second, let me set up and now explain. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this aunt that we're going to get into is aunt number 3. And aunt number 3, oh my gosh, what is her name? What is her name? Paula Dixon. And this is her impact statement. So we're going to listen to her impact statement, what she had to say. And that was yesterday. Yeah, correct, yesterday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it. Let me check these likes. Oh, come on, y'all. Hit the like. Let's get the likes up. All right, so we get ready to get into sister number 3, and that's Paula Dixon. Let's hear what she have to say. This is her impact statement, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it.
Ms. French, I'm going to read the jury an instruction once Ms. Dixon's sworn in.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Ms. Dixon, good morning to you, ma'am. Just come over here to your right. Watch yourself as you come forth. Need a glass of water or something, let us know.
Kay said something. IS was beyond abused and scared. Some never tell who. You got a point. Let me check myself right now. Thank you, Kay. You have a point. And I got to remember that she was groomed for how many years? So, yeah, he probably instilled in her, don't say anything, don't tell nobody, this is our relationship, and if you say anything, it's going to ruin our relationship. Yep, you're right. Scratch everything I just said. You have a point. Because I got to remember the history. the history of how many years he had to groom her. So sad. It really is. This whole thing is just so sad. They let the devil in their family. Resume.
Once you're able to certainly get you a glass of water. You can adjust the microphone as deemed necessary, okay? Thanks. All right, yes, ma'am. Members of the jury, I mentioned this to you in my preliminary instructions to you. I'm going to read it again, given the witness. The state's now going to present in victim impact evidence to you. Such evidence is only presented to demonstrate the victim's uniqueness as an individual and the loss to the community by the victim's death. However, victim impact evidence must not be considered by you as an aggravating factor. Ms. French, you may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please introduce yourself to the jury.
My name is.
Yep, Denise. It is definitely a lack between the mother and daughter relationship. Denise says, and blessed to you and good evening. Glad to have you here, girl. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is good. Yes, Miss Donna. That's exactly what came to my mind. I'm on your side. Well, it proves to me, in my opinion, mother and daughter relationship wasn't good. We got to throw that in, ladies and gentlemen. It must not have been that good. I understand all the years of grooming. Yeah. It's just, this whole thing is just, oh my gosh, it's just a mess. This poor baby. That's why as us parents, we have to be in tune to our kids. We have to let them know to talk to us about anything. Always, even, I don't care what age it is, good touch, bad touch, teach them. Did anybody ever touch you over here? Or no, Mom. No, Dad. Oh, okay. If it did, you would tell me, right? Yeah, I would tell you. You explain to them. No adult is supposed to. So you teach them this since they was little. And then let them know is, I don't care if it's your aunt, your uncle, the pastor, your teacher, or whoever it is, you tell me. And if they tell you, oh, if you say anything, I'll kill your parents, tell them, say, all right, well, I'll take that risk because I'm telling my parents. Teach them that. Because sometimes these kids is being threatened that they'll kill the kid or kill the parents, and they so scared. So tell them, teach them, say, if they threaten you, say, okay, I'm still telling. We have to communicate with our children. Talk to if your grandparents on here watching, talk to your grandchildren. If your auntie watching, talk to your nieces and nephews. If your uncle, talk to your nieces and nephews. If you're a mentor, talk to them. It's very important when they little. Don't really wait until high school. Because, high school kids, they don't really want to listen to us. They're like, they think that we was just born like an hour before we gave birth to them. Really? They think we haven't been there. Either we've been there as the parents, or we done that as parents, or we know about it. A lot of things we might didn't do, but we might know about it, or we might have been around. One of the three. So whatever they talking about, it's nothing new to us. We're fully aware of it. Mm-hmm. Communication is number one key in any form of a relationship. Communication. Lack of communication, it's going to be problems. Let's get back to it. Now, this is sister number 3 again. And like I said, her impact statement. Resume.
Ms. Paula Dixon.
And spell your last name, please.
Dixson.
And ma'am, are you related to IS?
Yes, I am.
And how?
I'm her aunt.
And are you Kim Mobley's sister?
Yes.
And Ms. Dixon, did you provide a victim impact evidence statement?
Yes, I did.
And would you please read verbatim your victim impact statement, ma'am? And take your time.
Absolutely. Your Honorable Court, my name is Paula Dixon, and to the family, it was no secret that I was Iyana Sawyer's favorite aunt. I remember the day she was born like it was yesterday. I received a call advising me that my sister had gone into labor. My husband and I gathered our children and met my mom and my sister at the hospital. After hours of labor, Iyana Michelle Sawyer made her grand entrance into the world, and it was love at first sight. My princess Yana Boo was the perfect baby. Her smile was so contagious. This was my sister's first child, so she did everything by the book. I literally watched her embrace her new role as a mother. We had our first birthday party at my house, which I will never forget. I said, Yaya, what do you want to eat? She pointed to the plate and said, beans. We pulled out the smash cake, and she sat on my lap as I fed her. My sister came up with the bright idea to push her face in the cake, which I simply refused to do. Instead, I took her hand and stuck it in the cake. She turned to me, held out her hand, and said, "It's dirty." It tickled me something serious. Shortly thereafter, Maya was born. My sister couldn't wait for her daughters to finally meet. My two nieces were inseparable from that moment on. My mother raised us to always be there for your sisters, and I can see that my sister was ensuring that our next generation would do the same. In years to come, she would gain 2 additional brothers. Being the oldest, she became a natural-born leader. She would teach her younger siblings how to read, write, do math, and a plethora of other things. She utilized the leadership skills that she gained at home to pursue other endeavors at school. She was an honor roll student, a crossing guard, and a great friend, to name a few things. She was the definition of, if I can believe it, I can achieve it. She never let a challenge stop her because she knew she could do or be anything she put her mind to. At an early age, we saw that she strived to be the very best and that she always wanted to be a top performer. As a family, we encouraged her to never settle for less because we knew she was destined for greatness. She began receiving scholarships when she was in elementary school. And by the time she entered middle school, she was in honors classes. She began doing extracurricular activities such as playing the violin and joining the step team. As she entered high school, she began taking college courses and was on track to graduate early. She loved to dance and had the craziest sense of humor. One time she called out to one of her brothers, telling him that she needed help. He came running in to see what was wrong, and as soon as he hit the kitchen floor, boom, he slipped and fell on the dishwashing liquor that she put all over the floor. She got a good laugh off of that one. This is just one of the many jokes she played on her siblings. She was the best big sister and very big on family. She was truly her mom's little mini-me. Her siblings looked up to her. As time went on, she became a big cousin. The babies just loved her. My nephew was so crazy about her. One time she was sitting at the top of the stairs and he began climbing up the stairs to get to her. He made it about halfway and said, "Yaya." I guess it made her heart melt because when she went down the stairs to pick him up.
Pat, you said something. None of this situation feels right. It seems like the guy had them all hypnotized with his looks. I'm just saying. You might have a point there, Pat. Resume.
She was such a diva and a true fashionista. I started getting her lotions and fragrances from Victoria's Secrets, and she immediately fell in love with the pink line. She knew that for her birthdays and Christmas, she was getting something pertaining to pink. The smile on her face when she opened her gifts was priceless. She loved to eat. We would have family gatherings regularly, from seafood Saturday to Sunday dinner. Thanksgiving was one of her favorite holidays. I started a tradition letting the kids spend the night so they could help prepare the meal. She loved being around family. Her smile lit up any room that she entered, and she was such a joy to be around. She was our princess, and she wore the title well. As time passed, we received shocking news that she was pregnant. I was so excited to be a great aunt, and I could not wait to find out what she was having. It was almost Christmas time, so I made a big Sunday dinner, and everyone came to my house to paint nutcrackers. I guess the baby liked the greens because she started moving around, and I said, "Uh-oh, the baby's gonna like my cooking." Never in a million years did I imagine this would be the last time that I saw her. The following Wednesday, I received word that she didn't come home from school. I can never put into words the feeling of panic that came over me. From that moment on, our lives would never be the same. We called and texted her for weeks with no response. After a while, we received the news that no one wanted to hear. She was gone and never coming back. We had to tell our children that she was gone while holding back our tears as we wiped theirs away. My poor sister had to keep herself together because she had 3 other kids looking to her for comfort. Their sister was gone. I can only imagine how my niece felt having to look at an empty bed day in and day out. My poor nephew struggled to cope with the fact that she was never coming back. I watched my sister stand still for almost 5 years. Her baby and grandbaby were gone without a trace. All the sleepless nights, the tears, the pain of not being able to give them a proper home going. The family dysfunction. This tore our family apart. I had to sit back and watch my sister try to make it from one second to the next. There were no words of comfort we could offer. All we could do was be there. I had to take time off from work to try to get my mind right. Sometimes all I could do was cry. I had to hold on to my faith because that was my baby. I will never forget the many nights that I had to comfort my child. We were at an all-time low. I watched my family completely fall apart over the years. There were so many ups and downs. This loss left a hole in our hearts that can never be filled. How do we move forward as a family? We kept our faith and awaited our day in court. I sat in the courtroom every day and watched my family testify one by one. My heart broke all over again. It was not all for nothing. Justice was served. But how do we pick up the pieces knowing what we know now? We will never truly heal. How can we? Grace and mercy has carried us thus far, and we must hold on to his word. There are so many things we will never be able to do. We will never be able to meet Hazel, never get to see our princess as a mother. We will never see her go off to college. We will never see her get married. We will never see how great she would have truly been. We will never get to see her live. Now we are left with memories, a bunch of what ifs.
Denise says something. I listened to the last night and informed tears from this letter and her sister SS letter. Even it touched the judge. Those were really sad, wasn't it? Really sad. He said, "Let's take a break," and you could tell the judge hold tears. Resume.
We must live the remainder of our lives with a bunch of regrets, because we can never turn back the hands of time. We must live with a constant reminder that our princess is gone. We must live with the guilt of knowing that even though we were our sister's keeper, she is no longer with us. That's a burden I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. We must now figure out how to proceed as a family going forward. How do we heal? How do we trust? How do we live given all that we've learned? The only answer I can come up with is by the grace of God. I know that my God is a faithful God. He will never leave us or forsake us, and he will never put more on us than we can bear. Justice is just the beginning of our healing process. We must now learn how to live with the unimaginable loss that we have suffered. I know our princess is still with us every time we see a rainbow, pink skies, or a red cardinal. We know she is there. I thank God for the 16 years that he allowed us to be in her presence. The world will never know how great she really was or could have been. She will live in our hearts forever. I like to think of her as an angel that my God called home. He needed her more than we did. The flesh wants us to hold on forever, but that's human nature. To my Iyana boo, I love you unconditionally. You will take it from us too soon, but we will continue to honor your memory until we meet again. You are loved, and we miss you so much. If he brings you to it, he will bring you through it. I love you unconditionally. I don't know how, but we will get through this. Long live Princess Yaya and Princess Hazel. Thank you.
Nothing further, Your Honor. No questions, Your Honor.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to show you the aunties and everything that they had to say. This really is so sad. Thumbs up. Oh, it said thumbs up on my way in. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody, make sure you hit the like, hit the like. This is such a sad story. This monster just came in here and uproot everything. I'm so sick and tired of these sleazeball monsters, Satan Juniors, Satan's daughters, or whoever I title them. I'm so tired of making decisions on who should live and who shouldn't. Who are you to make that decision? That's only God. All right, you didn't want this baby, you didn't want to be exposed. Well, hey, you should have never been messing with her. She's a child. It is what it is. And this girl really thought that she was in a relationship with him. She thought they was together. And so did the other sister. She thought so too. And the cousin. All of them. They all thought they had him because he's just a sleazeball. This is what I'm talking about, sleazeball. And sociopath. The clinical psychologist said he's a sociopath and he's a narcissist. Typical move. Typical. Typical. All right. I see you, Ivilla. Blessings to you, girl. And good evening. And I see you, TV. Good evening, Miss Donna and chat. And good evening to you. I'm going to end, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to show the aunts. I'll be back again tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm going to play, since a couple of y'all requested, I'm going to play the Body Wire. When he was, the what I'm trying to say is his cellmates had him, recorded. So we're going to listen to that one because you definitely learn a lot. He basically threw himself under the bus. I don't get it with these. One thing I have to say about these narcs and sociopaths, if you have the patience to listen to them, they throw their own self under the bus. Yes, they do. They eventually do. If you can have the patience to listen to them and get through the word salad, yeah, you will find out. Susie said he was the cousin, too. He was with the cousin. He was trying to get with the cousin, too. I played that in one of my past commentaries. You go back to see it, and I put in the title, The Cousin. Yep, Susie Q. Yep. So sad. Jones, blessings to you. Michelle says, JQ thought that he was hiding something, and now people all over know what kind of man he is. Yep. And there was a news clip, I'll show it tomorrow, that he's talking about how he's being mistreated in jail. What do you think? They was going to roll out the carpet for you? Talking about they call him monster with children. What do you think was going to happen? But it's all stemmed from his childhood. His childhood. Mother, see? Another one. That's why I do a lot of videos on. If y'all look at my past commentary, feel free. Check them out. And I did past commentary with these women dating these loser, low-life men, bringing around their kids. So his mother was dating some loser, and he was beating on them. Now look what he turned out to be. See, we have to protect our children so they don't turn out to be monsters like this. Now, on the flip side, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. I've said this many times before. You could just birth a child and you could do everything. Mommy and daddy is great parents. You raise them in the church. You loving, caring, supportive. You listen to them and everything. But I hate to say it, your child's just born, a monster. They just no good. That's just the way their brain is, unfortunately. And you didn't do nothing wrong. And parents that's dealing with that, there's a lot of parents dealing like that. Don't blame yourself. You didn't do nothing wrong. Your child's just the way it is. And the best advice I give you, stay the heck away from them. Yep, just stay the heck away from them. So there's a lot of cases like that. You have terrific parents that's loving and caring and near and supportive. But it's just something wrong with your child. They're just no good. I do believe there are kids that's born bad, unfortunately. It is. It is what it is. We just have to face the fact. I know we don't want to, but we have to face the fact. Well, the narcissist has been revealed, and I hope he is suffering deeply. Yes, he has. The mask has fell, Kay, right? It has fell. I don't think anyone ever told him that he was wrong because of his looks. Yep. You hear all the people that in the that was talking up for him, right, Michelle? You heard it? Yes, sir. I showed that video. Everybody was talking highly for him in the impact statement. Yep. Purple says agreed. But that's what his delusional family said. He was bad seed from the right. From the rip. His brother isn't like him. He's different. So I'm gonna say it again. Sometimes your kids could just be born bad. Purple said, totally agree with you, Donna. Oh. Okay, yep. He was smooth. Smooth operator. I'm not gonna sing for y'all. I don't know why they came about smooth operator. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna let y'all go. And tomorrow I'll do it again. I'm gonna do the wire. We're gonna listen to that one, which was kind of hard for me to hear, but I need to hear it again because basically he threw his own self under the bus. Yes, he did. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, make sure everybody had this as a blessed night and a safe one. And like I always say, date smart, not thirsty. Be careful who you let into your life because not everybody has good intentions. And be extremely careful who you let around your children. It's nothing wrong with dating again. It didn't work out with your child's fault, or the marriage didn't work out, whatever the situation is. So you want to start dating again. When you have children, little children, you need to be careful who you bring around your kids. Don't be too quick because not everybody's coming in. It might not be for you. They just want your kids. Yep, it is what it is. Just have to be careful. Keep your eyes open. If you have discernment, you have that gut feeling, it means something. Always talk to your children. Let them know. Do you feel uncomfortable? Do you have a problem with this person talking? You know you can talk about anything, right? And be careful who the teachers around the kids, who they playing sports with, who's that coach, who's the pastor, or whoever it is. Just be alert and talk to talk to your children. All right, Denise says something. We all want to be loved, but sometimes, Denise said, we all want to be loved, but sometimes the one we're getting love from isn't the one for us, and God do give us signs to turn, but we want it bad. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to end on this note. This is beautiful. So we expect the smoothness. Yep, you got a point there. All right, that's the end of it. Let me stop talking here. I'm dragging around over here, just dragging and dragging. But thank you, everybody, ladies and gentlemen here. Thank you for everybody for gauging. Thank you for hitting the like button. Shout out to the people in the bushes. And remember, like I always say, date smart, not thirsty. Because if you date thirsty, you will be a target of being used and abused. Adios.